Yep. So
keep going. You're on a roll.
I am. So you'd think the Met Council, what can they do? Well, theoretically, if you go by the Minnesota Constitution, they really shouldn't be able to do anything because all laws have to be passed by our legislature. Well, they can make policies and say, this is how we want your cities to work in a certain area, whether it's transit, whether it's rainwater, or, the sewage, all that kind of stuff. They tell you, here's the way we want it done, and we're going to fine you if you don't do it. Well, that's kind of against the law. Anyways, they work with a group called Counties Transit Improvement Board, the CTIB. You can find that at www.
CTIB, yeah, you know me.
No, mnrides.org.
Oh.
I had a catchy one for this.
Darn right.
But it's 5 different counties that are all members of the board, and they cooperate with the Metropolitan Council. Here in Hennepin County, the people that are Peter McLaughlin, all right, Mark Stenglein, who many of you know around here, and Gail Dorfman, who's the alternate, and they work directly with people on the Met Council. So they get their marching orders from the Met Council, they're funded by the Met Council, and they were awarded $148.9 million in grants for projects covering the full spectrum of transitway development across the region.
Man, it's funny, they didn't ask us if we want this crap.
No, but they got the money.
They asked you?
So,
not me.
No,
They didn't, not a word.
So then Hennepin County takes it from there, and then they work with the Botno Boulevard Partnership, who I've talked about before. You can find that
at
at
back into that.
botnopartnership.org. It's a venerable who's who of mayors, Mike Opat, the North Metro Mayors Association, all the big businesses along County Road 81. We don't know who funds it. I'm sure that we do. It's not transparent on their website. You can't find it. But it holds Federal Transportation Administration land use expectations around TOD. So again, it's the feds telling us this is how we want it done. They have a long-range plan for LRT, light rail, that goes through 2014, and that's just the planning of it. They decided not to go with bus rapid transit in favor of LRT because the Met Council said that Botno Boulevard is one of the 2 corridors in the metro that we really see that this is going to be useful. So
thanks for the advice.
Yeah. So that's what this whole thing is planned around, is light rail. There's a recent land use proposal, and I know Andrew has some slides that I got for him, where there's going to be a major reduction in lanes of these major streets. Some places are going to lose street side access to their homes. They're just not going to be able to access the street they live on. Closure and restriction of side streets onto the affected ones. Some major roads are going to become one-ways. We're looking at Penn Avenue, we're looking at Lyndale, we're looking at Broadway, we're looking at Lowry. It doesn't ever end.
It's all right here, ladies and gentlemen, right on their websites, right there.
So we're looking at a 7-inch sidewalk this side, or sorry, 7 foot. 8 foot on this side, 216.
7-inch sidewalk.
Yeah.
You can't walk down that street.
No, I can't. I'm going to get nailed. 2 16-foot lanes, and then 28 feet in the middle for LRT.
And you've noticed roads around here starting to look like this. Hello, Douglas Drive.
That's right.
Hello, Bass Lake Road. Hello, 36. Where do you think
Lake
this
Road.
came from? You want to call me a conspiracy theorist? It's right here in your own neighborhoods, folks.
You know, Jason, they are asking for some public input. Just recently, I heard there's a name.
They want us to name it. That's some say, isn't it?
Right. We've got the Hiawatha line, the North Star line.
I can think of some 4-letter things I'd like to name it. Does that count?
Well, the name I submitted was Rusty. I think we ought to call it Rusty. That's raping us taxpayers yearly.
Woo, woo!
Wow.
I love it.
So, I mean, we're looking at this Botno Boulevard partnership, and they've got all these things. Here's another one. Part of Lyndale becoming a one-way street. We've got the sidewalk, a bike path, LRT, one travel lane. You know
what this is? You know what they're going to do? They're going to make driving such a bitch that they're going to force you to take their mass transit. That's their ultimate long-range goal. And these people don't care if they have to implement this stuff piece by piece. It's like socialized healthcare. If they've got to stick you with this, stick you with that.
They read the
Did I just nail you there? Yeah.
No, that's all right. North Star line is 22% under projected ridership. right now? I mean, in the last year, you know, they come up with all these lofty figures about how many people are going to ride all these things. They build them, and then the ridership is
if you build it, they will come.
Less. Yeah, much less than what they expect it to be.
All right, keep going, Jason.
So here's the thing. Like in Crystal, Mayor Bowman is part of the Botno Boulevard Partnership. I'm not saying she went, but they've been paid probably taxpayer money to take trips out to Portland and places like this to study how their rail system works. And I'd like to know if she is on a board to oversee the implementation of this project. How can she represent us when we don't want it? It seems that she's complicit in its forwarding, and she should recuse herself from any votes that happen on it, but that doesn't happen.
Oh, they're working well with others.
Yes.
So they're all at a picnic or something.
Yeah. So Crystal has this whole plan for land use redevelopment. And
they still deny exists.
They do, and it's on their website. You can go to their website, Google master plan in the search bar or whatever, and you can find bits and pieces of it. The official name is the Crystal Comprehensive Plan, if you want to look it up. And I referenced this at a city council meeting back on 9/15 of 09.
I think I was there.
You probably were. And she replied, "You're incorrect in assuming that we are going to raise the city and put up businesses with rental properties, or condos above it. That's a little part of the plan." End quote.
It's still the tear down the airport. Isn't that still
yes,
on the long-range plan?
Yeah,
They deny?
In this plan, it is the policy of the city that the preferred technology for Northwest Botno Transitway is light rail transit. Area 2 that needs redevelopment is the Crystal Airport. Closure and redevelopment of the Crystal Airport site are preferred under the current comprehensive plan, blah, blah, blah. Although you ask the mayor or anybody else about it, oh, that's not on the table because MAC, part of the Metro Council, isn't ready to get rid of it. Well, no, it's only not on the plan because you don't want to have the discussion with me. It's on the plan for as soon as they're willing to sell it, you're willing to buy it.
Sounds like a fly-by-night plan to me.
Yeah.
Well, and they still have all these phases. Crystal divides their little lands into the Skyway, Lions Park, Broadway, and all that. And they're going ahead with all of these special assessments, these redevelopment stuff, regardless of whether they have the money, they'll just assess it onto us on top of it.
Also in the plan, Area 6 is the area where Thriftway is. That whole block, they say it needs to be gotten rid of, and it'd be a great place to put high-density housing.
Oh.
Area 7, which is over on Bass Lake Road, in the 6,000 block. It consists of strip shopping centers on separate parcels with different owners, and if redevelopment were to occur, this area would be a good location for mixed-use development with multi-story residential. Wait a second. That's exactly what I said at the top of what the Agenda 21 laid out.
Concentrate the mass.
That's just a snapshot. It's all on the Crystal website, www.ci.crystal.mn.us, if you haven't been there to check it out for yourself.
Right down below, right there. You will see it.
So, yeah, we're hooked on this free money, and we do what they want because it's free money. And hey, we've got an opportunity to do some things.
You know what? Let me just close it up here with we're going to, unless we reverse this, we're going to lose the feel of our cities, our neighborhoods, all this, unless we get involved in the parks and in Agenda 21 and sustainable development.
Yep.
Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Good, because we're out of time.
I'm just kidding. All right, well, we hope we've given you some information, ladies and gentlemen, that you can use for yourselves and get informed and all this. Get your butts to these meetings and watch them on TV and send emails, write letters to the editor. Do what you want, ask those tough questions, because they're going to go ahead with this. The only thing stopping it is all of us.
All of us.
All
that
of us
includes you.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we will wrap it up again and see you next week. Tune in, same time, same place, as always. Remember, I promised new shows all the way through opening fishing. Come back and see us next week.